Alright. Daniel Lynn, tell us again.
Specifically speaks to those of you who are Renaissance people, who are multi-talented genius, who are the tinkerers, the creators. And
I tinker.
I'm imagining that you've gotten on very, very well by yourself. This message is showing up to offer you an interesting perspective on ways that you might collaborate, connect with, ally yourself with, those who would be genuinely resonant for you to connect with by reframing how you even consider community.
I didn't want to be a hermit, inasmuch as I should have a Valentine, and I should be moved forward to the possibility of having a companion at the same level of, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. Look, you know what I'm saying.
Community and connection. And I say this as a fellow hermit.
Weirdo.
By the way, I'm Danielle Lynn.
Hi,
I am a synchronistic connector, reflector, traveler across time and space.
Aren't you one of these cats' middle names?
Cat, fellow traveler across time and space, and synchronistic co-creator who is intentionally remembering how to live your coolest life.
Alright, we're going to try something else. Dymaxion map. I see this globe, okay? And somebody can explain this real easy, real fast for us? I mean, I guess I'll take this. Let's find out.
Stop talking in circles like this. This was me just over 10 years ago.
Hey, everyone.
Hey.
Hello, guys. I returned after a 2-month hiatus.
Hey.
Wow, what was I doing? So yeah, not gonna lie, I forgot about the channel for a bit, but I'm back and we're talking about maps now. If it is not painfully obvious, I love maps. Maps are cool. But the thing about maps is that they will always have distortion. You can't make a perfect map. For example, take an orange peel and try and squish it into a perfectly flat shape with no distortion or cutting. It's impossible. You can't do it. This is why we have different types of maps. They are all different methods of mapping a sphere onto a plane. Some of them distort size, some distort shape, but you have to. Subsequently, certain maps do certain things better and certain things worse. Let's go through all of the inferior ones first, though, to make my points seem more reasonable. The Mercator projection is literally taking a hollow cylinder, shoving it around Earth, and projecting it on the inside. This seems fine at first, until you realize that everything is thick around the poles. Greenland looks massive, but in reality, it can actually fit into Africa 14 times. The only thing this is good for is navigation, which is why Google uses it. I can't even make fun of the Robinson projection. Like, look at it, it's pretty slick and it looks pretty nice, but there's a lot of distortion near the edges and the poles. Despite all 20 of you guys who watched this video reading that and thinking you have dyslexia, you will recognize this projection if you know what the flat earth theory is. Despite the horrible connotations it conjures in one's mind. I think it looks pretty good and doesn't center in on one country. I hate this one. It looks horrible. What is this? What in the world can this be used for? The only purpose this one has is that the countries are as large relative to each other. But I could probably put sauce on South America and serve it in an Italian restaurant for how much it looks like spaghetti. Alright, breathe. Okay. To lift my spirits, I will now discuss my favorite map projection. I present to you this. You may look at this thing and say, what even is this? But I promise you, it fixes everything. It has been shown to be the most accurate map of the world ever. That's not a joke. There's almost no distortion. Every country is as large relative to each other. No country is in the center, and it puts a new perspective on the globe. But the main point of this is that it can be folded into an icosahedron, which is close to a circular shape. And because I was bored, I did it myself. I printed out a map of it and folded it. As you can see, it does fold into a cool spherical-ish shape. Taping it together, you get this. I did a horrible job on it, but you get the point anyway. So yeah, thanks for
That's
watching.
the shape of
and
the
the main
Earth.
takeaway of this video is both that I am a nerd and that we need to use this more often. See ya.
For all intents and purposes, that's the way I've got to look at it. Because I use those shapes.
This is Gensbug. It's like having a full-stack team in one workspace. Watch this. Build me a professional consulting.
Get the fuck out of here with that. Alright, we gotta have to go. I still need to... Let me move myself. Alright. Did we get the raccoon video today? We got the new raccoon video today. And it's Thoth. So, without further ado, I should, because I've watched all these and I've had to be all these gods. I shared with the ladies that I thought were the goddesses that were appropriate, the ones that would make it make sense to them. Other than that, I figure all of you have the same potential. You should be able to do this yourself. This channel for me though just shows it to me with the strange, not hardened yet warpings that I'm familiar with doing timeline jumping, and I'll point them out as we go. I'm going to point them out. Hey, that's the channel. Hey, how do they know? That's the guy. Was it going to go there next? Was it going to do it next 21 hours ago? A day of Thoth and why it sucks. It does suck.
Up to orbits. Thoth, the god of wisdom, writing, the moon, magic, knowledge, truth, and basically everything that requires more than 2 functioning neurons. You're the only being in the Egyptian pantheon who knows the difference between your, and it causes you more existential pain than any ancient curse ever could. You open your eyes. Well, technically you have the head of an ibis, so your eyes were kind of already open anyway, but you get the idea. Your room is an infinite library that stretches in all directions, defying basic concepts of geometry that you invented yourself. Papyrus scrolls float in.
When you assume the god form of a bird-headed god, whose eyes are on both sides of their heads, you see in 360 degrees. So if that's what he meant, that's what I think he meant. And I learned that firsthand. My blue lighter's dead. Not all the way dead. And I have another lighter.
Perfect orbits around you, each following mathematical trajectories you calculated millennia ago out of pure boredom. Each papyrus contains knowledge that would make a mortal's head explode. Literally, you tested it once. It was an accident. Well, the first one was an accident. The others were scientific research. You took notes on the results. The first thing you do every morning is the same ritual from millennia. You check your pending notes, and there it is. Pile of new papyri that magically appeared overnight. You sigh. The pile is the size of a small pyramid. A pyramid you helped design, by the way, but the pharaohs never gave you credit. You noted that injustice, too. You invented writing. Sometimes you deeply regret it. I watch as you pick up the first papyrus with your elegant scribe god hands. It's a request from Set. He wants to know if it technically counts as betrayal, if he did the bad thing in another dimension. You note the question. You note your detailed answer about interdimensional jurisdiction. You note that your answer was completely ignored. You note that Set did the bad thing anyway, in 3 different dimensions, just out of spite. You note your own sigh of frustration. You note that this is sigh number 847,293.
They draw him as a weird creature.
This era alone. Everything must be recorded. Everything. Breakfast in the Hall of the Gods is always an experience that tests the limits of your immortal patience. You walk in, and immediately Horus comes over with that lost puppy expression he does so well. He lost his eye again. Again. 3rd time this month. You note it. You note the date, the time, the circumstance, and the fact that this time he lost it betting on a scarab beetle race. He wants to know if you can take a look at the problem. You appreciate the unintentional pun. You note that you appreciated it. Horus doesn't understand why you're smiling. You note that too. You note that explaining the joke would kill the humor. You note that Horus probably wouldn't get it. Anyway, Ra walks past you, radiating sunlight at 6 in the morning, like a neighbor who turns on a power drill on Sunday. The light is so intense, you need to shield your ibis eyes. You created sunglasses 3,000 years ago specifically for these encounters. No one else wears them. You were ahead of your time.
3,000
You always
years.
are. Ra wants to know the schedule for the day. You're the god of wisdom, not his secretary. But apparently no one informed Ra of that distinction in the last 4 billion years. You consult your notes with patience that should be canonized. You inform him that today he needs to rise in the east, cross the sky in his solar bark, die in the west, fight the serpent Apophis in the underworld, and be reborn tomorrow. Same as yesterday. Same as every day for the last billion years. Literally nothing has changed since the creation of the universe. Ra seems genuinely surprised by this information. He asks if you're sure. You note the question. You note your own desire to scream. You note that...
Really? I have to send Batshead a text.
You note that you managed to control yourself.
Dymaxion
Give yourself a
man.
mental point for that. Isis appears with a question about magic and your ibis heart races. Finally, something intellectually stimulating. She's one of the few deities who actually understands advanced magical theory. She wants to know about the theoretical foundations behind the resurrection spell. Your eyes light up with academic anticipation. You begin explaining with genuine enthusiasm the complex interaction between the Kai and the Bi, the necessary words of power and their etymology in the primordial language, the sacred geometry involved, and how it relates to the position of the stars. You're in the middle of a particularly elegant diagram when she interrupts you. She just wanted to know if it works on plants.
See how his hands turn into the bird hands? That was a distinction that was made before I saw any of these videos. It was a distinction made when I was stretching out the body to make the thought form Callan McGraw, or whatever his name is. We'll call him Callan McGraw. Snickle Fritz Callan McGraw the third. He's a ghost talismata. Lives in the front. It lives.
She killed a fern. It was a gift from Osiris. You know...
This too. The fern is in the front yard. It's it's supposed to be a invisibility spell. It'll make you invisible till it dies. Okay, we're done here. We're not doing this anymore. This video was great. Thank you for participating. I love you guys. How to stop the video. Oh, I forget.